Want to give a quick update here on aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman, who has apparently had to pull into Greece, the Greek port of Suda Bay, to take care of what looks like a little bit more extensive damage than initial reports. What we do know is that she had what appears to be a glancing blow, and I'm going to go into that. That's part of the purpose of this video. It appears she had a glancing blow from this ship right here. And we do know that her damage is also very superficial. Some of her mooring spools had been sheared off of their mooring mounts. But more importantly, and far more critically, is the danger U.S. capital ships are in simply in highly trafficked waters. I want to kind of get into that. But as we can see here, the initial damage was known to be the sponson to the right-hand side. You can see this trailing duct going all the way across her starboard fantail, all the way across, and you can see where clearly we have superficial damage and possibly more so to the outer plates of this thing. An assessment team will conduct a full survey of damaged areas and develop a repair plan to be executed immediately following completion of the assessment, according to official press releases. This is the sponson up close. The Navy released a picture showing damage to a sponson on the starboard side of the stern end of the ship's number 3 aircraft elevator. The service subsequently released additional images seen at the top of the story and below showing further damage to the aft end of the starboard side of the hull. As you can see here, the sponson was clearly wrecked real hard. And whatever this duct is, that duct as she goes along the fantail and out was clearly splayed wide open. Along her fantail, right below her rear missile launcher, and just splayed wide open. It's incredible. Damage already assessed includes the exterior wall of 2 storage rooms and a maintenance space. External to the ship, damage assessed includes a little line handling space, the fantail, and the platform above one of the storage spaces, according to a new Navy release. Aircraft elevator number 3 sustained no damage and is fully operational. Forward deployed regional maintenance center will lead the Pierside ERAV, including an assessment and follow-on repairs to damage sustained. This is a picture of the damage to BESIKTAS. Well, I don't mind butchering that name. I don't feel bad about it. This is one of her mooring spools sheared off of her mooring mast for her mooring mount and damage to one of her compartments. This is the most important part. While the ship is fully mission capable and ship conducted flight operations following the collision, pulling into port for emergent repairs will enable the ship to continue deployment as scheduled, Captain Dave Snowden, the carrier's commanding officer, also said in a statement. So we know that she's fully mission capable. She conducted flight operations post-incident, and that is something that is very important. We can't have her not mission capable. So we know this is essentially superficial damage. Let's go a little bit more into the group itself. The Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group unit remains operational across geographic regions in support of their component commanders. Rear Admiral Sean Bailey, commander of the strike group, said in a separate statement. Our mission has not changed, and we remain committed to responding to any challenge in the dynamic and global security environment. In addition to USS Harry S. Truman and its embarked air wing, the strike group includes a Ticonderoga-class cruiser, USS Gettysburg, and the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers USS Stout, USS The Sullivans, USS Jason Dunham. In December, Gettysburg shot down an FA-18 Super Hornet fighter assigned to Truman in a separate friendly fire incident that is still underway. Both pilots ejected. The pilot and navigation officer, weapons officer ejected safely, and they were safe. Now, in regards to what struck them, this is why in the previous video about this I said perhaps security for United States ships in highly trafficked ports and areas needs to be stepped up. I'm not saying this was intentional. I do not believe that at all. But I want to take a close look at this picture of the ship that hit her. It's obvious it was a glancing blow, because if you can see that nose, had that been a straight-on strike, the nose of this ship, as you can see, the underwater bulge that's on the bow of the ship, would have clearly pierced below the waterline. To have a United States carrier possibly severely damaged or worse in a port because of negligence, because of misinterpretation, is something we simply can't tolerate. Or what if it was intentional? Now, this incident was clearly not. I am in no way implying that. However, we do know that there are state actors and other actors who would utilize a ship of this ramming speed. Ramming speed. We know that. Now imagine that bow piercing. Had that been straight on, we all know that that bow right there is going straight into the side of that ship. This ship was $4.5 billion in 2007. She just went through a midlife upgrade of $913 million, making this almost a $6 billion vessel. And that does not include the priceless crew or the aircraft. It's my opinion. Again, I do not believe this was intentional. That is not what I am saying. I am not a conspiracy theorist. What I'm saying is, I think that it's incumbent upon the United States Navy to increase its capital ship security in high trafficked areas, port facilities, and similar circumstance. You cannot have, by accident, something like that happening, except far, far worse. I keep pointing out that this was a glancing blow, merely superficial damage on both. However, it could have been so much worse. Had that been a head-on, that undersea bulge is going right under the waterline and perhaps into very delicate systems. Remember, that is a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. So I just wanted to bring this update to everybody and show that there's a little bit more superficial damage that we didn't know about. Now when we get in port, obviously we'll get some swimmers in the water and we'll check underneath, make sure she's good to go. And probably get that stuff fixed up, or at least patched up to the point where we can get back out on duty. But I think it highlights a bigger issue and something that I'm legitimately fearful of. We need to be pretty cautious of that. Pretty cautious of that. I would hate to see some tanker with a giant underwater bulge sideswipe a 13 billion, what was it, a $6 billion vessel with a crew of 5,000 run by nuclear power. Imagine the headlines. that's all I got. I wanted to bring that update to everybody, and I do appreciate you swinging in. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that, and a like, and share it to some friends, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. I cover these subjects quite a bit, and I cover a number of other things, and I'd love to have you check out what we got. I appreciate you. Thank you.